everyone. Hello, hello. Here we are to do another story time. I realized the audio went out yesterday, and I guess I was just doing the story for myself. But I mean, an important part of the read came out, so that's good. It is what it is. We've got delivery here. Dollar bills. Hey now, delivery of some cash would be great. We've got braids and amusement. It's going to be fun. Maybe. Delivery of some money. Braids. The intertwining of paths. And passion. So there could have been someone that you were involved with at one point in your lifetime that you intertwined your paths with. Perhaps it was a passionate situation. Perhaps it was a relationship that was very innocent. Maybe it was very pure and innocent. There could be some money here involved. Maybe they left you something should they have passed. You're learning about this, and it will be coming in a delivery. A clean delivery. Maybe a delivery from a Gemini. Maybe this money is supposed to have multi-purpose in order for you to live okay or comfortably and also start a business of some sort. I always thought that if I were to have have extra income, I would start a laundromat that didn't charge as much as the other laundromat, so that way it was a little bit, more affordable for the person who had to use it. And I mean, more people will come then, right? We've got hospital. It will be a healing situation that happens. I also want to open nonprofits to help those people who are living paycheck to paycheck that, they just get one paycheck behind or they miss a paycheck or something, and then that's what completely dominoes their situation. I'd love to be able to have a nonprofit for that. That would be awesome. I mean, they do say that you should, give back your 10% of your tithings or whatever. And I think that would be a great way to do that. So you funnel the money that you make from the laundromat, and then you start the nonprofit to be able to help people who could have been in your similar situation, right? To help support one another. Maybe have some kind of program where that's even possible. This can also tie into being able to help people who are victims of crime. Help support them get back on their feet. I know they have a lot of programs for that, so maybe I'll have to consider or give it some other thought or whatnot. But then I also wanted to this was my ultimate dream. Well, I shouldn't say ultimate dream, but it's something that I wanted to do. It's an art experience store where people can come and do art when they have no talent. Because the kind of art that I'm talking about, literally, you don't need any talent. You just need to know how to pick a color, right? No two pictures will ever come out the same. So you can go on a date night and you don't have to have the same photo like a competition in your house. And that business would also host nights specifically for people who have endured domestic violence. And also people who are coming out of incarceration. Different nights, of course. But it would be nice to be able to give back to those populations and just, allow them to have a creative outlet for things that are going to help them change their lives, perhaps. To find something that is kind of amazing that didn't take them very hard or wasn't very hard for them to do, but yet something beautiful came out of it. I think that would be an excellent first stepping stone to boosting self-esteem of those people who have dealt with such hardship situations or perhaps made a poor choice or even a victim of being targeted. It would be nice to be able to help support those people. We've got lucky. They would be lucky, right? Definitely would be a lucky situation to be a part of. Whoopsie. Well, I guess I could turn it that way. Do I see? There's some light. I guess it doesn't really help much with the pencil. Anywho, whatever's meant to be will be, right? So, I mean, I can have all these dreams and theories and stuff. I'll need a whole bunch of people to hire in order to get all those things organized, established, and ongoing. I always run into certain people when I'm out and about in different places, and they have such great customer service. And I'm like, oh, I wish I had a business because then I could offer these people a job. I mean, I know they already have a job, but I would love to be able to have had them because sometimes it's hard to find good people who like like what they're doing, or they just are really good at what they're doing customer service wise. Saith a person of authority, so that someone could be delivering something as far as finances. It could be coming from a person of authority or someone who speaks in a place of authority. This person, again, the amusement park is out here again. The amusement park, the one you wait in lines for. Like, seriously, you wait in lines to go on a ride that you go on for 5 seconds, but yet you wait an hour or two. We've got spirits here. There could be some spirits involved. I don't know why I'm feeling a little bit of anxiety, and I don't know why. Because literally I've done the same things I've done every single day. I don't know. I had a weird situation happen today where I did a delivery, and all of a sudden the back of my head felt a lot of pressure. And it was odd. It was really, really odd. And then I was reflecting back on some stories that I've heard from other people about stuff like that. And I'm just like, I'm just going to go home and take a nap. Take a break. I've had some short nights having to be a taxi. Amusement is here again. I don't know. It was side TMI side chat, ADD conversation, I guess. We've got our salt and pepper shakers. This person who might be coming in a place of authority to tell you something of authoritative nature could be high, upper in age. Could be up in age with the salt and pepper hair. They could be adding a little bit of seasoning to the situation, something that you may already be familiar with or you know about, but they're going to add those like final little ingredients to the situation that maybe you didn't know about. Again, I'm thinking about the fact that my dad told me a story once that there was an interview, and this was back in the day when you'd have an interview at lunch or whatnot, and then the person would see if the person ordered the food, if they would salt their food right away, or did you try it first before you decided if it needed some seasoning on it. Because the people who are just going to automatically season their food, they might be not the right fit for whatever job role it was. Because it's like, if you're going to jump in and assume that it's going to need more salt or pepper, then you're probably not going to do well in that industry. I don't know why I just did that. That's usually not my way. You guys have been around quite a while, I would assume. And I don't usually do that on the table. So that could be meaning for someone. So weird. We've got our raccoon in the traffic cone. Be mindful of someone who might be trying to rummage around. Maybe they're thieving for something. Maybe they're scavenging for something. And they could be doing it at night. Just be mindful of that. Be aware that it might be happening. But I have to say, you guys, use your discernment and don't live your day like these stories are actually things that are going on in your life. Don't let it disrupt who you are. You don't want that to be the case. Saith the Lord with the amusement there. Someone is very entertained by what it is that maybe someone is saying or dealing with, or how they're working through some things. Golly. For anyone who is new here, these are cards that I made. They're in different stages. Some of them just have words on them because I haven't gotten to the point of coloring them, and I just wanted to make sure I had the word available so I didn't forget. Some are in further stages, like our rainbow. There's a promise at the end of the rainbow, and there's always a rainbow after a storm, right? So that might seem like it's a difficult time situation. You might think that there are just so many aphids to get to that you just can't get to them all. But that just means the food's aplenty, right? The resources are out there. There are plenty of resources. You just have to be mindful and know where to go. We've got our Earth Angel here with the cherry on top. Someone could be a Virgo. I was going to say Virgin. But someone could be a Virgo. The cherry on top is the stability after all this is over. The cherry on top is earning your wings and showing your integrity. Being proven that your integrity is real. That your integrity is a part of who you are and your birthright. How you came here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start pulling the cards. Back of the deck, we've got our plastic bottle here, our H2O bottle. Be mindful of what plastic bottles that you're consuming your water in because it can cause sickness. As they've said that the plastics do leak into the waters, especially, folks, if you've been keeping your water bottles in the car. For Pete's sake, do not keep your bottled water or drinks of any kind in the car because the plastic will leach out into your car. Out into your water. And then now you're consuming the plastics. They also said that someone had a plastic water bottle of water in their car and somehow it would... I don't know how that happened. We've got candy, super sweet. Maybe someone's like saying, well, let me just say before, plastic. Maybe someone's trying to say that somebody's sweetness is just fake. That it's not real. We've got the knight coming in with the chessboard. Maybe they're saying that this person, yeah, they're super sweet. It's all an act. They pretend to be like that. It's a play. They're being strategic. Maybe someone's coming in who's going to be strategic in the way that they're acting. Maybe it has something to do with the authority figure who's coming in with the with that information. Maybe they're going to come in acting like they're super sweet. Support also. A horse is about support as well. Oh, was I just pulling those from the back? Well, I guess that's what we're doing. I'm going to do this next one and then I'll go in the middle. Someone's trying to recycle some kind of game plan. They're going to try to do something again. We're recycling that plastic bottle. How interesting is that? We're recycling the plastic bottle. We're taking that bottle and we're making it something else. So maybe someone came in with ill intentions, right? Because candy, if you eat too much of it, it's going to make you sick. And if you consume the plastic water bottles, that's going to make you sick. So someone's coming in with some kind of ill intentions. And they're trying to turn around the story and say, oh, no, this is what's happened. And, I'm here for you. As we see you here at thank you for being here. I know that's backwards. I don't know how to get that part of the camera to flip the other side. Then we've got the vampire bat, a nocturnal animal just like the raccoons, but a sign of prosperity. So somebody's going to recycle that prosperity. We've got the monster here. Maybe they were seen as a monster in the beginning. Body art. They could have body art, tattoos, piercings, American condor. The master of the spirit, connections to the ancestors, healing the sick, balance the harmony, solar loner eclipse, time view, high altitude views, Native American. A bag of balls. This somehow got made twice, and I don't know why or how, but I think the other one actually has the picture on it. But the bag of balls, of course, when you were out in PE and they would bring out that bag of balls, you didn't even know what sport you guys were playing. It's like there was that anticipation, like, are we going to play soccer where it's all fun and, or flag football, or are we going to do volleyball where it hurts your arms? You don't know what kind of information is going to be there, right? We've got to pick. Something is wedged in between two different places. Maybe it's this knight who's coming in, wedged in between a rock and a hard place. picking something up deep between your teeth, or maybe it's a lock pick. We'll see if we get the lock that comes out. We've got comma, taking a pause. So maybe before you make a decision of some sort after hearing this news, that you're going to have to go ahead and take a moment to maybe even just make a pick of some sort. You'll have to decide which pathway you're going to be taking. We've got a doctor here. Huh. Take a pause, doctor break. Could have something to do with a doctor, a pot of gold. Maybe it's some kind of malpractice suit happening. Maybe there's some kind of doctor that is known to funnel people into the system who maybe didn't need to be put into the system because of whatever was happening behind the scenes that the doctor was a part of. Mind you, this is all alleged, folks. Remember that. We've got a scribe. Someone's been keeping track, keeping record. Someone was copying something. Karma. There's karma for that. If you're not copying things accurately, then there's karma to have to be paid. If you're not recording things accurately because you're getting paid behind the scenes for it, there's karma to be paid. Butter, transformation, being left out in the cold, being left out on the counter. There's the elephant in the room. Pest of draining somebody. A-line. Something was not balanced. Could be something about someone's blood work. Perhaps someone was trying to change something about somebody's blood work. Soft, hard. Maybe it was something about a heart-related issue, as far as like maybe they were saying that this person had a heart issue. Maybe they had cholesterol issues. Maybe they were ignoring those issues and they changed those records. But there's some kind of imbalance here. They were trying to say something was imbalanced. That brings me to a personal story. Big surprise. But this is, I'm sharing my stories through my art. So there's, I went to the doctor because I was having, I thought, vein issues, and I was having heart issues and whatnot. And I went to several, probably 4 different, maybe 5 different heart specialists and vascular surgeons and stuff to try to figure out what in the world was going on with me. What is the point? What was I saying this for? An imbalance, the pest. Oh, yes. And so I went to my doctor, and my doctor, a general practitioner, was saying, oh, well, since you're having all these symptoms and stuff, I'm just going to go ahead and put you on a beta blocker. And I was like, wait a minute now. Shouldn't we wait and see what the heart doctor says? I don't want to assign myself or give myself a prescription if we don't even know what the specialist is saying about it. And she goes, oh, yeah. Not to mention, but it lowers your blood pressure as well. So it's like that could have been a dangerous territory if your heart rate or your blood pressure is already normal to low range. And I had to tell the doctor that. And I'm like, shouldn't we, wait it out a minute instead of just jumping on some kind of pill? And come to find out, apparently my heart is fine, other than, some valve leak that I'm told that everybody has that. All right, whatever. We've got our DNA. I know, TMI. I can talk about it. It's not a HIPAA violation if I'm talking about it myself, folks. I already know if someone wants to chime in and say something like they were in the beginning. We've got our DNA. This could be related to somebody's parent, somebody's lineage. This could have happened to somebody's parent. Maybe the information that the doctor wrote down wasn't even accurate. Maybe the files were wrong. Sorry about the door slam. I wonder if I'm talking too loud. So sorry. There's no rest for the wicked, like none, nada. So if someone was scribing something, then of course, and they've got the karma come in, well, you know what? Sleep well, my friend. I hope that you are sleeping well. If someone's doing these kinds of things, it should be affecting their sleep at this point. And the only way to alleviate that is by just admitting what you've done and take responsibility for it. Right? And then you can rest well again because you have a clear conscience. We've got the universe. Again with the rainbow. The universe pours out the different colors of which it wants to have the colors. I mean, the sky is blue for a reason. It was made to be that way. Perhaps everything that's been going through on the table, maybe these are things that were meant to happen the way that they've been happening in order to find some kind of resolution or some kind of bringing the karma to surface for it. We've got the bag. Are you being left holding the bag? Or is the doctor being left holding the bag? I wonder if the doctor's going to be the one to call it out and say this is what's been happening. We've got a gas tank. Someone's on empty. That bag is empty too. You got to refill that tank. Someone might be exhausted. They might be tired from all of this. Your body's not going to go anywhere. If it's under the influence of wickedness, it's not going to go anywhere. You're completely going to be completely drained, tired, exhausted. Or should I reflect the story and say, you know, the person who may be doing this to you is going to be drained, exhausted, and tired. Maybe someone's blood work is coming back showing their blood count is low. And we've got this bag, and then we've got the bag of balls. The bag of balls is also about someone being a jerk. You're just a real jerk. Picking at someone in their time of peace, in their time of trying to heal from some kind of ailment, trying to take their money and try to rewrite their life about this whole pot of gold thing. You're trying to change the story of what's going on. That's the big elephant in the room, and the elephant will never forget. Trying to train the elephant. We've got the potato, trying to bury something, trying to put someone in a place of poverty. Whoever's doing this could be becoming in a place of poverty because they're left holding that bag. Even their poverty is empty. Their ground, their foundation, it's empty. Hover with the drone. We've got soda pop. Everything that has been recorded and done is being seen. And the whole scenario is going to pop. The whole scenario is going to, like the water bottle I was talking about in the car, it's just going to all over the place. Someone is haunted by what they have done. They're having thoughts about it. They're having haunted thoughts. They're so confused. Can you see that bottom row? Create the updo. All they want to do is create some kind of put togetherness, some kind of conservatorship. Maybe they did do a conservatorship and it's delivery here. A delivery of something conservative. A package. Postal service. Having your wits about you while you're delivering some kind of message or sharing your thoughts. One, two, three, 4 lines. We've got 5. Let's see what the center card is. We've got our fluff and fold coming out again. Our hermit could have something to do with Cancer. This is my Cancer card for the crabs. We've got that fake bottle cap there again with the H2O bottle. Interestingly enough, we've got the top coming off that plastic. So maybe something's going to be exposed on that level. We have someone who's ballsy. We've got the bag of balls coming out again. This person is awful ballsy, very arrogant. This is also my Gemini card. Someone's ballsy's attitude is greater than that impossible itch. trying to ask for help. They need help. That itch just keeps on itching. This person's haunted thoughts just keep on returning, and there's nothing they can do about it. They know they were ballsy in what they were doing. They know that what they were doing was going to be a risk. They knew they needed to clean up the way that they were thinking and the people and stuff that they were associating with. The grass is greener. You gotta tend to your grass. They thought the grass was greener on the other side of things. Maybe someone thought that the situation was going to be really great and plentiful and a lot of fun with this Cancer or this Gemini person, but they're realizing that it wasn't, and that they have to go ahead and tend to their own grass, and that's the only way that they're going to get what it is that they want, which is the Midas touch, which is it's a wish that was granted that turned into a curse. So instead of wishing for what other people have, and wishing for success just to come at a touch of a finger, or to have riches to come just a touch of a finger, you actually have to work for it. You have to put the effort and the work into it. If you try to do things underhandedly, or you try to do things just by jumping the fence and going on with somebody else's maintenance, then it's going to come with some kind of price. Midas didn't think about the consequences of his wishes. Everything I touch turned to gold. Well, that means everything, folks. The people you love, the people you hug, every time that you give someone a hug, they're going to be turned into gold. They're no longer there. Money does that to people. Turns them cold. And then they realize that they're still miserable. Then what? We've got our outcome cards. We've got contentment with a peach. We've got a scroll, again, with the information coming in. Someone could be scrolling on their phone, maybe someone in Georgia, even. Displacement. Someone is being displaced is the outcome because of their belief systems that are empty and needing to be recharged and reconnected to the treasure that actually matters. Someone's being forced not to say anything. Or maybe you're being told not to say anything because of whatever it is that's coming in, the information that's coming in about what's been going on. You're being forced not to say anything about it. It would be in your best interest to keep it to yourself. Maybe they don't want you to make something bigger than what it is. They're probably nervous that if they come in and say anything, then you're going to make a big deal of it. We have an awakening happening for someone. They're receiving a message, like we were just saying. Could have something to do with family, joining, a sensitive, cease and desist. Cults and covens, cease and desist on the cults and covens. I find it interesting. This is the second time that these two cards have come out together. A contract, a competition. Maybe the cults and covens were in competition of a contract and now they're stuck. Someone with the initial of D. They were in their mind about it with about the initial of E, first, middle, or last, or nickname. We have nature. It's a Capricorn here. A lady Capricorn. Oopsie, on the opportunity that they took. It's done and over. The cycle's over and completed, and they're on to the next one. They've learned the lesson. There's concern here about an intervention happening. They're concerned that this person's going to come in and say something about what's been going on. Again, we've got that doctor card here. Karmic. We had karma come out ahead of time. This person is going to have to deal with their karma. The pinnacle, it's not even started. It's not even at its worst yet, as far as the karma that someone's going to have to deal with. We have an A upside down, first, middle, or last. This person could be in their south node. They could be in their shadow aspects. Something about food upside down. Not food, but water, maybe. Not food, but drink. Be mindful of what you're eating. It's not food. Multiple, upside down. It's not multiple. It's singular. We have a P upside down, which is also what? A D? A small d? We had the big D and the little d now. Even though it could be someone with the initial of P who's in their south node or they're in their shadow aspects, but I think it's probably saying, you know, oh, it could be, maybe this is the last letter of someone's name, like David. We've got Leo coming out. I ran into someone named David probably last week who actually had said that their family had a restaurant. That restaurant went under. That person was saying his dad had did something, and then I just saw that same restaurant pop up in a different city. So that was interesting. I won't tell my 2 cents on the interaction of that. I mean, it was all positive because that's just how I roll. But after I drove away, I was thinking, wow. I'll leave it at that. He was nice. He was polite, but that was the part that I was just like, wow. Okay, so we're forgiving, per se. This word says forgive, and it says per se. And we've got a box here upside down. Someone was trying to put someone in a box. Someone was doesn't have enough boundaries, things of that nature. Maybe they were just trying to find out some kind of information. We've got egg upside down. Maybe that's a nest egg that is no longer available. Maybe it's the start of something that has already started. It's not the beginning of something. We're either midway or we're at the end of it. Considering we've got the last letter of somebody's name, I'd say we're probably at the end of it. Especially when we've got this person coming in with authority of what they're going to tell you or say. And just remember that there was some kind of ballsy situation in the past that someone tried to clean up and they weren't able to get it out. It's like the soda that popped is all over the place and it's stained and it's still haunting this person. Their actions of being ballsy is like worse. It's being seen as worse than what was actually happening and what they were asking for help for. Anywho, make it a great day, you guys. There's something great in every single day as long as you just try to find it or you just are willing to see it. That's key. Take care. And thank you for being here. Bye.